Hi, welcome to the Backyard Road Trips podcast. I'm Zach.
I'm Jim. Zach, I'm very excited.
Yeah, I know you are.
Very excited.
This is months in the making.
All right, so this is our bourbon barrel-aged beer taste test.
And what's the temperature outside?
It is at least 90.
Yeah, with a lot of humidity.
Yeah.
We're not in Arizona.
I've been saving these, collecting them for months and months, and we thought we'd beat the heat, and we didn't.
Yeah.
Perfect day to drink heavy beers.
So with these, did you buy single bottles or was it...
I got 6-packs.
6
or
packs.
4-packs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So you've had most of these, you said.
I've had a few of them.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll read you the lineup, but I'll tell you.
Yeah, a lot of Michigan heavy right here.
Is Founders mostly?
Founders is Michigan. New Holland is Michigan.
Wow. Well, yeah. I mean, I was really researching.
Kentucky Bourbon is Michigan.
Kentucky Bourbon's in Michigan, yeah. I was looking at the ones that, are rated as kind of the highest. Mm-hmm. So, like, the purpose for me with this was when our good Uncle Mark, he generously shared his Sam Adams Utopias with me.
Right, yep.
And I wondered, is there a beer that's not $250
okay.
that will come close? And the answer is no.
No.
Definitely not. But is there a beer that might come close to that beer?
Okay.
And the answer is maybe.
I see. So
maybe.
this is your hypothesis.
This is why I've been sort of saving and checking things out. So
do you have a winner in your mind already from what you've had, or?
Yeah. So here I'll read you off what we've got on the lineup.
And you didn't get the peppermint one either.
I did not. It didn't exist when I was buying these. No.
The peppermint one sounds.
Yeah, the Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Peppermint.
Yeah.
Peppermint Porter.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that one.
No, that sounds gross. I'll say that I made some mistakes on these too. But all right, so we've got my first mistake.
Okay.
Dragon's Milk Reserve 1, number 1 from 2021. So I didn't know anything about this when I was shopping. I just saw Dragon. I know Dragon's Milk's a bourbon barrel. That's a staple.
Uncle Mark is actually the first one who told me about Dragon's Milk.
Yeah, he loves them.
Yep.
And so I was like, oh, reserved. Oh, that must mean it's even better. Yeah. What I didn't realize that these are like special releases that they do every year, and it's got like a different thing in it. So like this is Dragon's Milk.
Urine, right?
It's not. It's probably a little better than urine, but not. But I don't know. It's peanut butter and cocoa nibs.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh, I didn't know.
I'd rather drink that than urine.
That is true. Yeah, and pretty much any of the things that we just had in the previous crappy episode. I don't know when we're going to release these, so you're either getting a heads up on that episode or you're going to hear the good stuff. But
right.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed. I'm not disappointed with the beer. I'm just disappointed with myself that I didn't do enough research to say like,
you brought shame on your family name.
My family, yes, and my house.
Yeah.
We also have regular Dragon's Milk because I could not include that.
Right.
We have Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Ale and then a Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Coffee Stout.
Right. Okay.
And I want to talk about those. Yep. Yeah. In a minute. And then we've got Founders is really known. Like if you just read more about bourbon barrel stuff, they're just like the kings of all of it. So we've got
the Kentucky Breakfast Stout, right? And that's but KBS. The espresso one.
Yep. Yeah. So in fact the espresso one was ranked even higher. So that's why I grabbed that. I should have gotten just a regular one, but I don't know. I mean, I've got another coffee one in here. So, like, they're not really comparing apples to apples totally, but that's not exactly what I was going for. Founders Fruitwood, which I found, and I was telling you when we were in Mount Washington, the Mount Washington Hotel, I found that. That's very good. And then finally, Goose Island. This is not one that I've had, but Goose Island has their Bourbon County release.
Right, every year.
Series. Yeah, and I've had another one. Probably the most alcoholic thing I've ever done was leaving work early one time and getting a bottle of this and sitting in the airport parking lot outside of Wyndham and just drinking this in my van. Gotten a lot of hot water. I almost didn't make the birth of Teddy. No. I'm making all that up. Could you imagine? Yeah.
Hey, you know what? You didn't know he came early.
Yeah, I'll be there. I gotta finish up work here. And I'm just super sloshed in the van. No. She would leave me if I did that. So this is a lot here. A lot of them are. I think every one of them is pretty much over 11%, except for the Kentucky one. So yeah. So I don't know. How do you want to? What do you want to do? You want to talk? You want to start diving in? You want to
talk and dive? Maybe.
Yeah. Let's
dive and talk.
Okay.
Now, what should we start with? The lowest Do you think? Like, do you think that would be the Kentucky bourbon or
Yeah. Yeah. Why don't we start with that?
Okay.
I'll break open a couple
probably
of
the
these.
bourbon and then the coffee bourbon?
Yeah.
I'm excited for this too because honestly, other than our like Halloween beer taste tests, I haven't had too much, for beers, too many bourbon-based things in a long time.
Now, do you like bourbon barreled or barrel-aged beers?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's more of a, first of all, more of a winter. Often.
Yeah.
But it also is something that it's more of like almost like a meal that you're eating it.
Yeah.
Or if you have like an ale base, you can just kind of sip it and drink it and it's done. So I feel like I almost gravitate more towards the other because of the versatility.
Mm-hmm.
So, but certainly I'm excited to try.
Yeah, these are something I feel like you have to be in the mood for.
Right.
Right. Trying them after a day of drinking. But all right, so this is going for it. This is, you've heard of Altec, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to tell you, this whole thing is an enigma to me.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently they're like this conglomerate company. They own animal feed, golf courses, and they have some distilleries and beer.
Is that Kentucky bourbon?
Yeah. So in fact, this is made by Lexington Brewing and Distillery Company, or Distilling Company. Yeah. Which is owned by Altec or Alltech. Mm-hmm. I don't actually know how they pronounce it, but
Alltown. They do grocery store. Aldi.
Yeah, Aldi's. Yeah, you get it from Aldi. All right, so you've tried this. Give me your thoughts.
Mm-hmm. It's not that strong in taste. It's certainly, I'm guessing the ABV is definitely lower because it's much more sippable.
Yeah.
Or not even sippable, drinkable than most. Like there's a hint of a bourbon taste, but there's not a full-on, assault of bourbon.
Yeah. So you're honing in on exactly the things that I was like shocked by. Number one, would you be surprised to learn that this is an Irish red ale? Because it's very creamy to me.
Yeah, it doesn't. I couldn't really taste what the base of it is.
Right.
Yeah, I would just say like ale. I wouldn't think red ale. I think just kind of like
an ale, just an ale.
Yeah.
All right, and you said that this is very light, very drinkable. Would you be shocked to learn this is 8% alcohol?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It does not taste like it at all.
Definitely not. I would thought maybe
4, 5, 6. I don't know. Yeah.
Just because the bourbon itself, the name and the
But if you
hint,
didn't, all right, if I didn't tell you that this is a bourbon barrel aged beer,
you wouldn't
even
know,
recognize bourbon in this?
You would recognize some kind of flavor that's not in a typical ale.
Yeah, that's true. I feel it's very vanilla forward. Mm-hmm. I feel like I get a lot of vanilla. This is one of my favorite beers ever, and I never really known it. Mm-hmm. Going back to like the name of the company, Lexington Brewing Company, it's barely on the label, which I find odd because when you're buying beer, you see who makes it, and you couldn't really find this. But
I remember when this came out, or at least not came out, but was able to be found in stores about 15 years ago, and I was also intrigued by like, what's the brand? What's the
who makes this? It's just a bourbon barrel ale.
Right.
I absolutely love it. I wouldn't know that it had any bourbon barrel. I think I get hints of bourbon and like the toasted marshmallow and stuff, but
it was like bourbon flavor.
Yeah.
Then had like a full, like body.
Right. Not heavy,
but super easy. The 8%. Geez. That could be
super shocking, right?
Yeah.
I was also reading that they're also a distillery too. Because I couldn't find very much about them. I found that it seems like they're kind of like this distillery factory, so they may rent out their distillery to other people and make their own whiskeys. So I had thought that this is aged in the barrels that it turns out not. No, they just get barrels from around Kentucky from other distillers and they age it in that. And they also only age it for at most 6 weeks. And I think the law says you have to age it at least 24 hours. So there's probably between a day and 6 weeks worth of time that it spends in this barrel. I don't know. Like I'm saying again, that it's one of my favorite beers, but like knowing what I know about it, it doesn't line up at all to me. It's a great beer. So you want to try into the coffee?
Yeah, I think probably try to go from there. So is this your go-to barrel aged beer, or do you have any? Thank you.
I don't know. I guess it could be. I don't usually do this. I mean, I'm not a big drinker anymore.
Oh yeah, because you're doing keto.
Well, and just because I don't feel like having a headache for the 1 hour I have to my life. But
yeah, it's true. Isn't that funny? It's like how I was talking to somebody the other day. It was like about drinking. It's like Yeah, I don't want to have more than 2 beers, as I have 9. But it's because I'm like, yeah, because then it's gonna just like there's no drunk. There's just tired.
Yes, right.
Tired.
The only time you can have it is when you're already tired. And
Right.
Is that really the best time
Right.
to be enjoying
Yeah.
something?
Yeah, definitely.
But I think that it's what I gravitate towards. Like if I want something special, I want something that's been in a barrel.
Yeah.
All right, so let's try. I've not had this one before.
Okay, this is new for you.
Oh my god, the smell is
Nice.
amazing.
Yeah, much more pungent than the first.
It smells exactly like coffee ice cream to me.
I can see
Right?
that.
Chocolate and just heavy coffee.
It has a coffee up front, but it's not super strong either. That's nice. I like
Really?
that.
I feel
No,
like
I mean
all
like it's not strong. It's not like a thick beer.
yeah,
It's not like
right,
It has a strong coffee taste, but it's not a heavy. It doesn't taste like a heavy beer.
right. I think it's This is also 8%.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
really good.
It's
Yeah.
drinkable. It's light. It's very fizzy.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
Much
great
better
coffee. Yeah.
Much better than the dude blanket.
Again, I'm very excited to see when we're going to release these episodes. Because,
Right.
like, y'all, you either listened to this already about the dude blanket and it's bad, or
I
wait
just
till
have
you
to
hear
tip
about
my cap off again to Adam on that one.
it. Yeah, he was
saving
spot
that.
on.
Yeah, you need when you do a bad beer podcast,
Get this
do
one.
that one.
Yeah, he was right on.
Yeah,
This is pleasurable to me.
Yep. I like it.
I don't know that I like it as much as the other one, but
Well, I think the coffee flavor of it is there's one of the things that I've been noticing too a lot when I'm doing a lot of tastings of liquor for the distillery research is that I can enjoy the taste of something like I am here. I could enjoy that beer if I had it, but I don't know if I need 6 of them.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Or if you did, maybe you give 2 away and you have 3 over the next 6 months.
Yeah.
So it's that kind of thing. Where I feel like the first one, it's much easier to go back to.
Yep. I would make
kind
that
of
first one like a daily or regular, not a
Breakfast.
daily. Yeah, I have it at work or in between bathroom breaks.
Right. Watching the planes.
Yeah, this wasn't too bad. I don't know that I'd buy this one again just because I'm not a big, I don't know, it's a little bitter for me. And I do like coffee, but it's for me, it's very coffee forward. And
It is.
if I was looking for a coffee beer, I'd like that. But if I'm looking for a barrel aged beer, this is.
Yeah, the coffee's more pronounced than the barrel age.
Again, if you didn't know that this spent any time in a barrel, would you recognize any barrel qualities? To
No,
it?
I don't think so.
Yeah, me neither. So it's just
So.
really just think of it as a good coffee stout. And,
Yep.
Yeah, that's all you got to worry about. It's a great
Right.
coffee stout.
Right.
Yeah.
And almost good, I feel like these could be good intros to their genres.
Yep.
Where, again, they're not overwhelming.
Oh, that's a great
You know,
point.
Where I feel like that's kind of when I have like sour. Like I feel like a sour beer is very much polarizing. People either love them or hate them. But if you have some in the genre that are, as my father calls them, are kinder, gentler sour.
Yeah.
It's kind of a good way to transition into it. So you're not like completely like, puckering your insides with sourness because some of them are like that. I feel like this would be the same thing. Like if you gave, like my mother will try some of my father's beers. Oh, that's poison. Usually if it's stouts, where she likes sours, but like the stouts.
She doesn't like stouts.
No, she says they're poison. But her scale of like poison to not so poison, that would be okay. Where most of these would be poison to her.
Yeah.
So kind of the scale.
All right. Yeah, she'd probably hate most of these then.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I could see her liking that for the coffee and for the drinkability of it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a good point. You want to do KBS since that's also an espresso?
Sure, the coffee,
it's
yeah.
a coffee, flavored thing.
Yep. Founders is an interesting brewery too, where you've got an excellent stout line, and then you've got like their all day IPA and stuff like that are super drinkable. For that. Thank you. Has a nice coffee smell.
Oh wow! But I mean, I can already get the heavy bourbon on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, much more than the other.
It's actually almost equal to the coffee. Should we call it espresso just to make people angry about?
Espresso.
Espresso. Yes.
Express yourself. Right. Yeah, like that's much more of a rich coffee taste than that.
Wow. Yeah.
That's like drinking a cup of black coffee.
I feel like the coffee is way more balanced, but definitely there and complements it. Like the first thing I got was bourbon. This is fantastic. This is so good. This is very well balanced. The coffee's right. I don't know. I mean, is espresso coffee? You're the expert here. Yeah. Just how you prepare it.
Yeah, espresso is kind of coffee. I don't know what makes it.
It's all made of coffee beans, right?
This is true.
This is great.
Oh, you know what's funny? Speaking of coffee, do you remember we had the coffee taste test?
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying about sometimes sampling things, right? So my least favorite thing that both I thought tastes like poison and Auntie Foot tastes like poison was that Speedwell cold brew coffee.
Yep.
I had a second one in the fridge. I bought 2 that day. I had it eventually. Loved it.
Yeah.
But I think when I was having all the sweet Starbucks and Dunkin' stuff before that, when I had a pure cold brew coffee, your palate was so wrecked by the sweet that you couldn't get the full. So sorry, Speedwell. So,
all right. So that's your retraction.
Retraction. Yep.
That's a big thing I hear in the communities. You got to print
retractions.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right. Well, that's fair. Good
they've
for
been
you.
They've been picketing. So
they're boycotting the book.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Podcast, they won't listen.
That's good to know. It's a good point, though, that, it's a drink, and like Irene said, the experience is the environment you're drinking in is going to impact how are you okay?
Yes, the allergies are like wicked today. I'm crying. Is
it the dog or is it the pollen?
No, it's the pollen.
Oh.
Yeah, full of pollen. I haven't had them like this for years. And
really?
It's like, yeah.
I used to die from them. I haven't had them at all this year.
That's funny because like it's not been bad at all for years, and this year it's been like, I'm like, oh, I'm okay. Getting old.
Getting up there. No.
The cure for allergies is drinking, I heard. So that's
I don't know. I mean, it's gotten worse since you started drinking.
Well, but it was funny with what you were saying. I like what you're saying about that because it's true, because sometimes, unless it's a dude blanket, you can be at a certain spot. There's so many times like, oh my God, this is such a good beer. And then I'll get it home and I'll be like, that's okay.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, you're in
that moment, or like outside on a beautiful day, not 90 degrees and humid, but like, maybe a 70-degree evening day, like, oh, this is so
nice. All right. So to that point, where would you, for this KBS, where would you think that this is an ideal place to drink? Like, what environment would this be great?
I would definitely say in the winter.
Yeah.
Maybe like kind of an afternoon that you can just kind of sip and enjoy.
Yeah.
Maybe a fire. It could just be even like having to put it in a little, not only have the bottle, but container outside even, or on.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Gotta go to not something that's distracting.
No.
Like, this is not something that you drink when you're watching football.
No. Or even, I don't think like too much. It's something that you'd want to taste.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that you're not, splitting with someone would be fine, but you don't want to be like at a party situation where you're just kind of consuming it. And that's, and that's one of my big, I remember just in general, like if you're having a party, sometimes I'd have like, I don't know, a kid's birthday party, and it's like, there's some really good beer there. But putting the good beer out is not a good time for the party because people are just drinking it.
Right.
And it's like, you're just drinking it as you would anything.
You were going to drink anything. You may as well drink the Narragansett Light.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
good point.
I think it's also funny that, what beer could fit that?
Yeah.
One that I've had through Mike lately that he really likes, this is go-to low ABV beer for like a multiple, is the Fresh Cut, I believe it's called, by Peak Organic or Peak. Double dry hop. It's a Pilsner. Double dry hop Pilsner. Excellent. 4%. A lot of good taste, but easy to drink.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Well, that's a good recommendation. Only 4% too. Hey, one day we should do like a lineup of Athletic Brewing's non-alcoholic stuff.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Really good. Yeah.
I've had one before that definitely was the best non-alcoholic or like gluten-free beer I've had. Well, there's one Stone gluten-free. It's pretty good, but it is Stone after all.
Yeah, this one's great.
Yeah.
Going back to this one, I was just going to say that what I like about it is it's like very much insistent on itself. There's some beers that are subtly good, and so like you can't just talk or you can't just do what you're doing and enjoy it.
Right.
Because it's like you can only focus on one of the two things. But this, I think that this would distract me. I'd be like, oh, that's a good beer.
Right.
That's good. You know what this would be perfect for? This would be completely inappropriate place for you to like do it. But like,
crying over here.
But like a fall kids soccer game. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it's so boring that you got to just
boring. I don't give a shit about this game.
That's fine. We're family friendly.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
That
it's a good idea. Yeah.
you know,
a November soccer game.
A November soccer game where you're stuck outside.
You know, yeah. Might be a little chilly, but you're, I think that's a good idea.
How about Dragon's Milk?
Yeah.
We'll go into classic. Okay.
But this is Dragon's Milk 1. No, regular.
Yeah, regular. I don't know. It's fine.
It kind of like, with all the flavors we've been having lately, there's no real flavors there, but it's nice. It's smooth. I can see why it's called milk, because it has definitely a smooth character to it.
Yeah.
But could it be one of those things and you had it 10 years ago, it was the first time I had this. And now it's like, okay, maybe there's better stuff out there. I don't know.
Yeah, I do think that they were one of the first to the market with being a bourbon barrel, stout.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's good. There's no doubt about it. It's good beer. I don't know if it stand out, I guess, anymore. But I think it's very good.
Yeah, I wonder if I don't know how you could have done compare these two, but I mean, like, obviously the first three were very heavy in flavor.
Yeah.
And like, has that blown our palate out? And now that like there's some bunch of subtleties with the Dragon's Milk that
next to find that gray lady, it's gonna be awesome.
All right, we'll blend it. We'll pull it out of the toilet, the gray lady. And, no, this was some
Franklin water.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
North Franklin water.
This wasn't bad.
No,
it's not bad. All right, so I'm gonna finish off a little sip of this,
and then I think it's Dragon's Milk Reserve. Probably follow
that's got
that up.
The peanut butter in it, and peanut butter and cocoa.
Yeah.
All right, and then we're halfway there, man.
Yeah. See, remember when I tried to give you the extension cord and it was backwards? See how I do with this.
Go. You got it backwards, I think. No, you don't.
I got it.
How do you like this little can opener?
I like that. You made this?
Yeah.
You could sell that.
We'll give it away to one lucky podcast listener.
Yeah.
Okay.
Along with some Juice Honeybees.
Just send Zach an email on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter.
Yep, and you get perfect.
And just say, hey, I want one of these, and we'll mail it to you, and you get one of our.
All right. Yeah.
Cheers.
All right. So everybody hear that? You can get a homemade Backyard Road Trips
bottle
opener made by Jim himself.
Now this is
Jim
made
Handy.
A piece of local cedar.
And
it's got a bent nail in it.
The cedars of Lebanon, I believe.
I'm drunk. I know it. I can feel it. I know it. And we've been given small pours, but we've had a lot today. I'm sorry, man. All right. Anyway, something about the duck pond.
I'm crying over here.
I know you got the allergies attack. We're drinking the highest alcohol, heaviest types of beer that we can have. It's 90 degrees outside. What are we doing with our life? We're cutting a lot out, but what we're announcing to you right now is Zach is having a third child.
It's funny because I'm the one pregnant this time, though.
It's that time.
You ever see that movie Junior? Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, yeah.
And Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, interesting. I think I like the first one better.
Oh, yeah, I haven't tried this yet. I'm sorry. By the way, it's a beer podcast. I guess we should try some damn beer. Yeah, first one's better.
There's not much of that extra stuff goes through. And I think the other one's actually milkier.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't get any peanut butter. I don't get any cocoa.
No.
I don't even get any of the original in this.
And it doesn't taste 10% or 11%. It tastes like
That's the other kind of amazing thing is that it's 1% less than the regular Dragon's Milk.
Yeah, and not bad at all. Wouldn't be a terrible beer, wouldn't be a disappointing beer, but it's not a...
I'm trying to think of when I would ever drink this. When would I prefer this over something else?
Gunpoint.
I think right now, Drunk Jim wants to leave a lot of this in.
It's fine.
Sober Jim thinks.
Yeah. They give me 2 episodes. You can make them 2.
By the way, this is a shout out for our friend Tim.
Does he listen to him?
He does. Oh, he listens to every single one. And he says that what he enjoys about this is that it feels like it's just his sitting around with friends talking.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Tim, we miss you. We love you.
Yeah. So he won't drink these? Where is he?
Well, I'm sure he would drink them, but he wouldn't want to be on the show.
People have to come here and help finish these beers.
Oh, I can call him and
give him a call.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, because that's a lot of beers right there.
A lot of beer left.
Give him a call.
Oh well. You want me to call him right now?
Call him right now.
Okay.
Yeah. It's one thing I've been noticing. Men's shorts have gotten shorter lately. like a lot of they're up to like here. They're up to like here. And showing. Yeah. I've been noticing that.
Hello.
Hey, T-Bone.
Hey.
Jim and Zach.
Oh, hey.
Hey.
You're on the podcast right now.
Okay. Hey, guys. Hey, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hey,
Yeah.
listeners.
Hey, we're drinking.
Just drinking.
We're drinking. I'm drunk. Listen, we've got a lot of I don't know, maybe eight beers. Do you
Yeah.
want to come over?
I'm actually at a Cub Scout camp thing with Jesse.
Oh, bummer.
Can't.
Well, we can bring
just-
them to you because I'm sure the counselors are ready to drink with the kid.
Just
All
pack
right.
it. Pack it in early.
It's hot out here.
Where are you? What camp are you at?
Hold on. Jay and Webster up in Ashford.
Ashford.
Ashford. Okay.
That doesn't even exist. I heard.
Ashford.
Yeah, Ashford's not even a real town.
Well, are you having a
Like
good time?
Yeah, it's hot though.
Well, I'm glad that you are. You doing the hatchets and shooting BB guns? Is that what's happening this weekend?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You get to shoot yet?
We did bows and arrows.
Bows and
Mm.
arrows. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
This is the Boy Scouts you signed up for. You know.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
All right. Well, good luck, man.
Good drinking.
Yeah. Are you sleeping over tonight?
No. I'll be back home tonight.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll talk to you later.
All right.
I love
Right,
you.
Tim.
Have fun.
Yep.
Thanks.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye, boys.
This is staying in the podcast, by the way.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. You're
Yeah,
gonna be on the
bye.
show. Okay. Bye bye.
Remember him and Andy wouldn't do it to begin with.
No, but when we trick
Does
him,
Andy
like,
drink anymore?
I don't think so. I don't know. I think he probably he can.
Will he finish these?
No, I would not call Andy on this.
Yeah.
All right. So the last three that we have, we've got Backwoods Bastard, and this is supposed to be I want to say it's maybe a 14%. I'll have to
Ooh,
look.
that's going to be an interesting one because usually that gets the motor oil level for me.
But it's not a stout.
Okay.
No, it's something different. This is actually highly
It's a
rated.
sour.
It's a God. Could you imagine? Well, you must have had a bourbon barrel aged stout.
Yeah. Stout? Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Sour?
Sour. Oh,
I don't
dang.
think so.
No,
No, I don't think so.
they don't age. I think
Well, they
that
can be aged, yeah, but
we have Fruitwood, and then we have the Goose Island. So,
Mhm.
in one of your questions that we never actually,
Yeah.
you didn't ask yet, and that's okay. I'm going to preemptively jump to it. You had asked in this Google Doc.
yeah, which is
I-
not. Which I printed out all the other old ones.
That's all right. You had asked something about have I had any
Yeah.
any barrel aged beers that was in something different type of wood,
Yes.
and kind of
Or a cask of some kind.
yeah,
That's-
right. The quick answer is I don't think so. No. However, I think one of the reasons I got one of the Goose Island, Bourbon County. This is a
The stout aged in bourbon barrel.
brand cherry wood stout.
Cherry wood.
Cherry wood.
Yeah.
Yeah. My first time
This is
drinking.
fruit wood. I'm
Well,
excited.
no.
to see-
Founders is the
Founders.
fruit wood. So that Founders is a cherry ale in bourbon barrels.
Oh, okay. So which one? The backwards or
the
the
Goose Island is used.
Oh, that's
has
cherry,
wood
too.
in
There's
it.
a lot of cherry.
Yeah. We're getting lucky with the cherries. All right, so this is Backyard's Bastard by Founders. It's 11%. All right, so here's the description, just so everyone knows. Expect lovely, warm smells of single malt Scotch. Oh, that's probably why I got it.
Yeah, that's a suck.
Oaky bourbon barrels, smoke, sweet caramel, and roasted malts. A bit of earthy spice, and I don't know what this word is. Can I spell this for you, and you can tell me how to pronounce it? Scintilla.
Scintillating?
Nope.
Can
Nope.
I see?
Yep.
Nope. Yep.
Well, it doesn't end with an N, so.
Scintilla.
Scintilla?
Yeah, I think that's a genitalia.
All right. Of dark fruit. It's a kickback sipper made to excite the palate. So I think that
I'm
this
excited
one,
right now.
this sparked joy with me coming back to the Utopias.
Was this a single bottle for you that purchased, or was this
No.
a
I've
4-pack?
got 4 packs of this.
Wow. So you have all in your fridge right now of all this.
No, they're out in the hot sun.
Okay,
I've got them in the.
Well, you don't need to put them cold. the
Right.
stouts, yeah.
And I almost wondered, do I want to serve these warm or cold?
I know. Yeah.
I figured it would take us so long to get through that
Right.
they're going to be warm enough by
Right.
the time they.
Right.
All right. Well, here we go.
That's good.
Yep.
That's 14%.
11.
I mean, it's,
Nope.
but it's a sipper.
That's very,
Definitely a
very
sipper.
good. It's a sipper. It's got a lot of the complexity that I thought that I would be looking for.
Yeah. So
What do
tell me the difference. So this is similar to the Utopia. Like, what's the
Oh man,
gauge that gauge? I mean, like,
there's no gauging it. The
so what's that?
Utopias-
Is Utopia the best thing you've ever had?
Oh yeah, hands down. And I asked this question to Irene.
It's $250.
$250. If I had an extra $250, I would buy that in a heartbeat. It really is It's so different than any other type of beer you've
Does
ever
Uncle Mark
had.
have one right now?
Probably. He's probably got 2. Yeah, he's got 2 different. But I
break
think
into
he
11.
buys 2 every release. One to save and one to drink.
One to save for the future.
Yeah, he just keeps them. It doesn't taste like beer at all. It almost tastes like a brandy beer. It's leathery, it's raisiny, it's dark fruits. This comes, again, I've already said, nothing's going to come close to that, but this comes close to something that could come close to that. This is not bad.
It's definitely complex. There's a lot of flavors.
Yeah, there's a lot going on with this.
This is the backyard bastard.
Yeah, boozy.
It is boozy.
And amazingly, with the Sam Adams, that was not boozy. And that's like 20-something%.
So maybe that's what, you're paying for that kind of... Well, I mean, if you're drinking actual whiskey, it's boozy.
Yeah.
What was your favorite of what we tried today at the whiskey?
Oh,
did you have a favorite?
probably the Kilcomin.
The first one.
Kilcomi? I don't think about these
Kilcomies, is that what you...
Kilcomies. Yeah. These Scottish distilleries, they have weird pronunciations. I never really had anything from there.
Yeah. So you knew that brand, though?
I knew the brand. I just never really, I never bought a bottle.
Did you know a lot of the brands that she had?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I didn't. That's where I knew some.
You convinced me that you knew most of them.
I knew some, but I didn't know. I mean, okay, maybe more than half, but not,
Yeah.
the Bob Dylan one I never heard of before.
Yeah.
Heaven's Door.
It's cool, though.
It is, yeah.
I love
It must
it.
be good because her palate seems to be amazing.
Really good. The blends that she made was
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, she's a treat.
The Putnam Rye that she had, to me, the regular Putnam Rye is excellent and much more drinkable. That 180 proof or whatever we had it was good for a sip, but I wouldn't have wanted a glass. Where neat, you can have a glass of the Putnam Rye without a problem.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that
Yeah, that's the thing about these cask strength. Anything over 40% is just they're hard to drink unless you can. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. Sometimes
so that's what they do. So when they bottle it instead of right out of the barrel. So what do they do differently?
Yeah, so a lot of times, a few things they do differently. One is that when they, by the way, we're talking about Irene's
Whiskey Mentors.
Whiskey Mentors.
Check it out.
And Canterbury Liquors. Yeah. Again, I don't know when these are going to be released.
Yeah.
So. But okay, so maybe we'll do Irene's first. People know what we're talking about.
Irene's Deli down there.
Irene's Deli, yeah. So when you buy just a barrel, there can be huge variations from barrel to barrel.
Right.
And so
I've had stuff out of the barrel before.
Yeah, and it's high. It's high alcohol. So they want to water it down so it's more palatable. It's usually around 40%.
Yeah.
Because barrel strength stuff is
So what
strong.
do they add to it?
Water.
Oh,
they
just
dilute
water.
it. Yeah, they just dilute it.
Oh, so if you buy a bottle of whiskey
yeah,
in a glass, they add water to it.
they add water. Yeah. And they're also blending it with many barrels because one barrel can taste so different from another.
Yes.
Then like your brand gets all screwed up. So they have the master blender who makes them all taste the same. Which is why I asked her, are you going to taste your own barrels? Because that barrel could be super
different, right?
Yeah. So I don't know.
That's cool.
It's great. The stuff that she obviously has a very good, a tier 3 sommelier.
And she can then buy these barrels and then bottle it herself for the public. So you can buy a bottle of this.
I guess so, yeah. I feel like you have to, there's got to be some regulations to be an independent bottler.
Yeah.
But she's got to figure it out.
Right,
so,
yeah.
But to blend her own stuff would be very cool. And that's what we've got to try, which is really good.
Right. Yeah, that's neat.
Yeah.
I'd like to do, I was, in a different time, it might be interesting to try do one of the tastings that she does.
Yeah.
To really try a few different things that she recommends.
And she'd be really good at explaining what you should be looking for. I feel like that's what you really need when people are drinking whiskey.
Yeah.
And I think that's a hard, sometimes whiskey is just a big barrier of entry. You might like Jack Daniels, but you like it with Coke.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Which is just going to be, you're tasting the Coke.
And there's something, I don't even think there's anything really wrong with Jack Daniels, but I think that to drink straight whiskey is a big thing for people. Yeah. And so you need someone to sort of guide you and say, all right, but here's what you're looking for.
Right.
And someone who knows what they're talking about, they're good about that, and they can make it enjoyable. It happened to me. I used to hate IPAs until Tim,
Oh, really?
who we just were on the phone with, Tim, you're listening. Tim guided me. He's like, "Don't you love how juicy it is?" I was like, "You know what? I never thought about that. I never thought of thinking about how juicy IPAs are until it's like, actually, that's really refreshing." And like just that way of thinking about it completely changed my approach to IPAs, and I started loving IPAs.
Changed because they were hoppy.
Now they're actually juicy. Yeah, but this is like before. This is when the IPAs were just bitter bombs.
Yeah.
But he explained it to me in a way that like the mentality I had changed how I enjoyed it, and I think that's like a good whiskey connoisseur can help that.
Yeah,
so that's why it'd be great for you and her to. I don't know. You already have a good palate, so
I don't know. I have a palate.
What do you think about Backyard's Bastard?
I have a cleft palate. Major cleft, or what's that? The minor. It was a cleft, right? It's the
bass clef and a treble clef. Yeah.
So I liked it. I think it's a good sipping.
Yeah.
A good sipper.
Yep.
You're not going to down that. That's probably the only one you're going to have today.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really good.
Well balanced. Yeah. If it was a little fruitier, I think that it would
rival that.
Fruitier and a little less carbonated.
Okay. So
I think it would come a little close to, if it spent a little more time maybe in a barrel.
Right.
It wasn't, I mean, no one wants to, people don't like flat beer.
Yes.
I wouldn't say that the Utopias was flat, but it wasn't.
I'll have to ask Rhonda about the Utopias. Because the one, the Boston Harbor.
Yeah.
I told you, she started Sam Adams with Jim Cook.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So the one that she keeps talking about, Rhonda, she's my person that's been in this project with me the whole time.
I did not know this.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
that's
crazy. That's what I've been working with.
How did she move over to the distilling side of things?
So she was at Sam Adams. She started off from day one. Basically, Jim was saying, "Hey, do you want to start with me?" Yes, let's do this. So she did. After they got bigger, I want to say in the 90s, like the mid 90s. I don't know if whatever their deal was, but they got bigger. Some say the recipes changed, whatever.
Yep.
She jumped ship in the late 90s to go start her own thing called New Century, as in it was going to be a new century. And she got in some trouble with the FDA.
Oh, no. What happened?
Because she was making a beer called Moonshot. This was the same time that Four Loko was out. So Four Loko became banned because you couldn't have, from FDA, you couldn't have alcohol and caffeine to a certain quantity. So that ruined her beer, which was supposed to be like a craft beer, but with that. So then in 2015, but she said since day one, she likes whiskey. So then 2015, she opened this.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you ever see the movie Beer Wars, it profiles the guy from Dogfish Head, Jim Cook, and her. Those are the three.
Wow.
I have a copy if you want. I got my dad for years ago
Is it not on like a streaming platform?
It might be.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
So yeah, she's really one of the top alcohol female entrepreneurs in the alcohol industry in the country.
That's very cool. I didn't know that you were working with her. That's super neat.
Yeah. She's been the one. So I'd like to ask her about the Utopias.
Yeah,
be interesting to see what she says.
Definitely. It seems like it's kind of a trade secret of what, I mean, obviously, because, they got some 20-year-old beer in there, and they barrel aged some of it and all that stuff. But yeah. All right. So we're going.
Founders and then bourbon?
Fruitwood?
Yeah. Fruitwood?
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let me.
There's not as much smell that I thought there would be.
Yeah.
Or is it just my allergies?
No, I don't get too much.
Yeah.
No, this is, I'll read you what they say. We took a crisp, light-bodied cherry ale and hid it away in oak barrels that have held both bourbon and maple syrup. After a lengthy stint, it emerged a changed beer. Blanketed in notes of warm vanilla and earthy sweetness, the wood proves itself the star of this beer, adding depth and taming the tart cherry while the maple
that's really good
imposes a velvety texture. Velvet, what a great word, that lingers for not a moment too long.
Did you try this before?
I have had this.
I like this a lot. Yeah, this is excellent.
It's kind of hard to find, but
because it has that cherry flavor without being overpowering.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah,
you know what? It almost tastes like a cider, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's excellent.
But a really good cider. It's not too sweet.
Right. It's got a great blend of sweet on this? Tartness. 8%.
Okay.
which you wouldn't. I wouldn't. If I was comparing this to a cider, I would say. I mean, this would be a very sweet cider. It'd be like a 4% cider.
Right. Yeah.
But this is fantastic. This is very drinkable, like the cream ale.
Yeah.
Or the other ale, the Kentucky Bourbon ale. I wouldn't guess that this was 8%.
No, I wouldn't think so either. Yeah, that's really good. And a lot different too.
Yeah, totally different than the rest.
And the cherry, without being sweet cherry, is nice. Just having it there's no like sweet aftertaste. It kind of just finishes and then.
Yep. It's just.
Now, where do you go for most of these? If you're going to a store, or do you have a?
All right. So for the Founders stuff, I went to the Founders website and they have a find our beer.
Option,
and that was good because I didn't want to drive around Timbuktu looking for where the stuff exists. I happened to find the Fruitwood when I was in New Hampshire. In North
that's the
Conway.
one that you did, yeah.
But I don't know. I think I've seen it probably around somewhere. But Bourbon County, you got to look that up too.
Yeah.
There's this place in Eastbrook Mall in Willimantic that has like everything.
Oh, really? In the mall?
Yeah,
wow.
They're great. They're a great selection. They had this. They always carry it. I can find pretty much most of this here
Locally.
Yeah. And then there's one in Waterford. There's a huge package store in Waterford. It's like a grocery store.
On Route 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, have you been? Obviously.
No, but I know of it.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, they're really good. So
the one thing I thought was interesting, so I went up to this liquor store a couple of years ago in Woodstock, Woodstock, Vermont. And they used to be a liquor store and video rental. Up until like 2 years ago, the video rental was still there.
Really?
Yeah, it's known far and wide for their selection.
Get out of here. Wow.
And the guy told me, we talked to him, my dad and I talked to him, he was pouring us stuff. He let us just take bottles home with us. It was really pretty nice. Good conversation. And we also bought a ton of stuff too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
They also had a growler fill, so he'd be like, oh, try this. This is a magic hat with rosé. It was just weird. So one of the things he was saying was like, okay, over here's our cooler. To the left, here's a 24-pack of Corona. He's like, we have a regular customer that wants it every week. So we make sure we have it for him.
Wow.
So he does that. So it's like all this real craft stuff, but one of their regular customers really wants that 24-pack of Corona every week. There it is. So
okay.
It's kind of interesting to cater to I could see that place being like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You may as well.
It seemed like everybody there knew everybody. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So kind of ready for the final countdown here.
All right. Bourbon County, Goose Island.
Yeah. All right. And what's the percentage on here? Like 14?
14.2%.
Other highest so far.
Bourbon, this is a stout aged in bourbon barrels and finished with cherry wood. So, yeah, it spent time in bourbon barrels and they, probably put cherry staves in
I got your toilet one.
the toilets. Isn't that great?
Yeah. It's a good color to it.
You get to have the rest. I'll find my capper and I'll send the rest of this home with you. Oh.
Definitely the most strong smelling of.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think it comes close to the KBS. But, oh, wow. Oh, yeah.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really nice. Because it doesn't have it's not the syrupy motor oil taste to it. It even dissipates at the end there.
This is like I feel like this is almost a blend of the KBS, the Backwoods Bastard, and the Fruitwood. It's very good. It's very good.
Yeah, it really is.
This might be one of my favorites. As far as as a true bourbon barrel.
Yeah, that's
this
excellent.
one and the KBS, I think, are my two favorite. And I'm not sure that I could pick out which one I would.
I would probably say this for me, and because they're so different, maybe the Fruitwood.
Yeah?
I like the Fruitwood a lot, but it could be if we were doing a whole taste of fruit beers. Well, it's not really a fruit beer, but then it could be maybe might have a different ranking, but just that stood out to me.
Right.
Now,
God, the smell on it is really nice.
The cherries there too, though.
Yeah. I think the dark fruit is really what I'm looking for. And,
right.
And they get it in this.
Right, yeah, they sure do. The Narragansett Light gets it too.
All right, now let's pour the Narragansett into here and see how.
Good blend. Yeah, that's excellent.
I have nothing bad to say about it. I've always enjoyed the Bourbon County releases, and this is and
each year is different, right?
Yeah, they always do something a little different. Oh, bless you.
Oh,
You're so good looking.
Oh, thank you.
Oh boy, slow down.
You going?
I mean, I'm gonna have the spinnies by 4:00 p.m. tonight. That's gonna be. How is this Bourbon County sitting on you?
Excellent.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's really
Where would you rank this
for the genre. This would be top of the line to me.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
But much more of an alcohol taste than a Utopia, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you wouldn't even guess that you're drinking something that had alcohol.
So, what is Utopia's style? Does it have a style?
Yeah, not really. I think it's experimental. It's just kind of hard because if you want to recreate something like that, it's very broad.
Right. How do you do it? Yeah, so it's it's interesting because I'm still, after all these beers compared to the whiskey we had earlier, I still would gravitate towards these into the whiskey.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, because this you can have a little more of.
Yes. And that's my problem, where it's like, I mean, some of it might be the idea of like being able to like have a sip.
Yeah.
Whereas you have one sip and then you're done. It's weird to me.
Yeah, you bring up a really good point. Is you have you're only expected to like, what do they say? Like a shot of whiskey is equal to a can of beer.
Right.
So like if I want to have 20 sips of something, whiskey shouldn't be my choice.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. And that's tough. And that's tough to be, because it's like I want to make it an event. I want to put put Golden Girl season 5 on. Stanley lost the wig. He just has the bald head. Blanche is, of course, promiscuous as ever, and Sophia is Blanche. Funny as hell. And I'm going to have that, but through the episode, a 22-minute episode, I can have a beer and probably not even be done with it.
Right.
And have a good time. If I had a whiskey...
Yeah, you're done with the whiskey halfway through. Blanche is still out there.
Yeah, I mean, probably it's, thank you for being a friend. That's not even over yet, the song. So, yeah, I guess that's my trouble trying. I think that's where the cocktails come in.
Yeah.
And
that's a good point.
Have you heard of the Mr. Boston guide?
My dad drinks Mr. Boston brandy.
Okay, yes, that's where it comes from.
Okay.
Yeah. So the Mr. Boston used to be made in Boston. It's by Sazerac. She kept on talking about Sazerac today. Yeah. One of the large. It used to be, so it was brewed in Boston from like the 30s, right after Prohibition, to the 1980s, I want to say. But still brewed. It's still not brewed, but it's still distilled. It's in Maine. It's where they make the Mr. Boston brand now. Lewiston, Maine. Huh. But there was a pocket guide that every bartender supposedly would have in their back pocket called the Mr. Boston Guide. Cocktails. Huh. And this guy called the Cocktail Guru, he goes by Jonathan Pogash, I think is pronounced him. He wrote the newest edition, edited it. He went through all these recipes of since the Boston Guide started in the 30s until the present day, and kind of updated them and, weaned some out and this and that as a hardcover and a softcover. So he sent me both of those.
Wow, really?
Which is, so I'm a good talk with him. He's also going to be profiled.
Awesome.
Kind of like Irene was for this one as like a side thing. But now the Mr. Boston Guide is all virtual. It's all digital. Huh. So if you go on to MrBostonDrinks.com, you can see 12 different guides of it and the recipes for each. Wow. But I think that's where it happens. You need to make the drinks. Instead of like, okay, this is a good beer, let me pour it out. You need to spend some time making a drink.
That's not a bad idea, though.
Yeah.
So I like that. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Something to check out.
Right. Thank you, Zach. This is great. I'm glad they were shared with you.
Yes. Thank you, Jim, for collecting these for the last 20 years. Yeah. He was a wee lad.
All right. And your favorite, what do you pick a favorite?
I would say the Bourbon County.
Bourbon County?
Yeah.
With Fruitwood as your next second?
Yeah. I'd probably say, Bourbon County and then Fruitwood, I think, were the two.
All right. And what's your number 3? Top 3?
I like the Dragon's Milk Regular a lot. I like the KBS a lot. I liked the Backwoods Barbecue a lot. I like the Kentucky Barrel for what it is a lot. I'd say it might be tied for 3 between those.
Okay. All right.
That's a cop-out way of saying it. But
that's fair.
They all have their own little niche. I wouldn't say the Dragon's Milk won.
No.
And I wouldn't say the Kentucky Coffee Ale. But I could see the other ones being kind of doing their own thing for all those.
Awesome.
How about you?
I think the Goose Island Bourbon County was our winner.
Then Backwoods Barbecue?
Yeah, it's between that and the KBS. I might want to say KBS. I might say KBS and Backwoods Barbecue, but as a daily drinker, I would do the Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Ale.
Right.
Which I I don't think really belongs in a Bourbon County bourbon barrel
Right.
taste test because I don't get any bourbon on it.
It's actually
It is a
Bourbon
fantastic
County in
beer.
Rhode Island.
Yeah, Bourbon County, Rhode Island.
Used to be called, like, I don't know, Providence County.
Yeah, right. All right. Well, thank you very much, Zach.
Thank you. This is Backyard Road Trips Podcast. I'm Zach.
I'm drunk.
And you can follow us on social media at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, or at backyardroadtrips.com, or any of your favorite podcast platform.
Excellent day. Bye-bye.
Good night.